Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seemed impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
So important to make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one heart-to-heart you. You sing to one smile that cheers you, one face that lights when it nears you, one girl you're everything. If you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you've found her, build your world around her. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy, and you will be happy too.
You see. He came from somewhere back in her long ago. Sentimental fool, don't she try hard to recreate what had yet to be created. Once in her life, she must have just smiled for his nostalgic taste. Never coming near to what he wanted to say. Hey, all that to realize you never really was. He had a place in her life. She never made him think twice. As he rises to her apology, anybody else would sure let go. He's watching her go, and what a fool he sees. No wise man has the power, oh yeah, to reason away now. And what seems to be is always better than nothing, oh yeah, nothing at all, nothing at all. He seems somewhere back in a long ago. She can still believe there's a place in her life. Hey, someday, some way, she will return. He had a place in her life. She never made him think twice. As he rises to apology, anybody else would sure let go. He's watching her go, oh yeah. What a fool he sees. No wise man has an hour, yeah, and reason away. And what seems to be is always better than nothing. Oh, 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 yeah. Nothing at all, nothing at all. Get it now, get the funk, 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 get it now. You see, wise man has the power. Wise man has the power. A fool he sees. Wise man has the power to reason away.
Hello, everybody. That is my Namaste in the Vortex playlist. And I want to thank you for being here. I just want to test that you can hear my sound. Can you hear the sound? Can you hear me speaking?
Yes, nice and clearly.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to remove this. So hi, Ellen and I want to welcome you. And I hope that most of you have seen the little YouTube video or the recording or attended live of what I created. I had over 40 slides last night, and I just, at one point I thought, well, if I'm going to continue, it's going to be really late. And I just thought, you know, I have this tendency to really go like on forever. And I just thought I need to respect people's time. And a lot of us wake up at 5 a.m. to meditate. For some, it's 4 a.m. in the UK. So I thought I better stop now. So I'm sure we're going to create something else. To tell you a little bit about Conscious World Club, Ellen and I set up this club because we thought, you know what, we really would love to create a community of people that could come together and that could meet and have amazing meetings where you actually have real connections and real conversations. So you don't talk about the weather, you stand in a bar, you can't even hear each other, and you don't talk about just your career and about politics. You talk about things that really, really inspire you, that really can change your life, and that make you go beyond the superficial, you know, chit chat that we very often have. And so we just started, you know, creating dinner events. And we were very lucky to be attracting amazing restaurant partners that really supported our ideas and it said, we loved your idea. And we just started this. And then, of course, us being super geeky in terms of studying the stuff that you need to study, we thought, well, you know, we should also create these amazing online conversations and games. And we don't like the word challenge. We like the word game, because challenge means that you're already putting in the vibration of that it's going to be hard. So we call it a game. So, and I immediately felt very strongly that I need to be more serious about appreciation. And I said to Ellen, why don't we do a game with appreciation? Because our mind is just so good in judging, you know, we're so good in judging, you know, those of you who have done the work of Byron Katie, the work, you know that we are masters in judging, not just ourselves, we judge everything. And it's really some kind of, you know, a mechanism to protect ourselves in a way. So, but when you actually study Abraham Hicks and you start to understand the power of appreciation, you start thinking, wow, you know, maybe one day I'll do it. No, one day is now, okay? Because there is no future, there's only the now. So, and so we felt very excited about it. And we said, just do it, let's do it. And then after the 7 days, we'll do a 30-day, because if you cannot do the 7 days, then you can definitely not do the 30-day. So this will actually also filter out the people that are serious about it and the people that are just paying lip service to the transformation. And, you know, I have been there for so long where I just paid lip service to this stuff. And, you know, and my level of consciousness did not shift and things stayed the same. And so really, for me and Ellen, it is very important that we are not philosophers, as our one of our teachers, Dr. Joe Dispenza, says. We want to do the work and we want to prove to ourselves. We want to be the living proof of truth. We want to be the example of the living truth, and truth goes against all the false things that we believe about reality and all the false things that we believe about life and how life works. And so this is our little introduction. This 7-day deliberate appreciation is chosen to be for a very short time frame, because we believe if you cannot do it for 7 days, then you should be out for the 30 days, because that's not for you. And so we are serious about 7 days because we actually, after we met each other in Mallorca at a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat, we as a group of over 30 people approximately, we started meditating every day at 5 a.m. without any delay, without any excuses. We just stood up, we overcame our body, as Dr. Joe would say. And so we're serious. If I can do that, because I could never do it, because I can do it now because I'm doing it with a group. And this is why I believe Ellen and I believe in the power of the group, because without the group, you sort of like become flaky. Somebody is have unmuted themselves. Could you please mute yourself? So, yeah, I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. Could you please mute yourself? Okay, so yeah, so basically we found out ourselves that by being in a group, we just woke up at 4:50 CET. Other people woke up at 3:50 UK time. Other people were in the US waking up, and others were in Australia. And so there's something around working in a group that is really special. And so I really, and in the meantime, we have experienced the biggest amount of synchronicities of group consciousness. You know, if you know, we actually need to maybe do a seminar one day about explaining the entanglement that started happening between the people in the group when we do healings, when we even don't do healings, when people don't even intend to be the healing, but what they experience when they, for instance, set an intention to join our meditations, but then they fall asleep. What happens then? Or even the people we meet, the new people we meet are entangled with us as a group. And so there's something mysterious going on that I think, you know, I would need to read, you know, Rupert Sheldrake's book about morphogenetic fields. I need to go back again into these little geeky books of family constellations that I used to study. But these group fields are so powerful. And they are even more powerful when you have positive intentions, because the higher you go with your consciousness in terms of the David Hawkins scale of consciousness, for those of you who know it, the higher you go in your consciousness, the more power you have. And when we say power, we are talking about positive power. We're talking about the power that shifts people without you even talking to them. Yeah. So why do we want to initiate games that we play collectively? Because we know from experience, and a lot of people here are in our groups, in the meditation groups or in the WhatsApp groups or in the Facebook groups that we have created. We know that a group creates an attractive field in which positive intentions amplify. So what happens apart from that, you know, you have the sense of belonging, you have new relationships that happen, you start to see new people, you know, you start to experience new people, new vantage points. So, and that of course is also a reason why you want to be in a group. In our separate groups, you have many people from so many different industries, different, countries, different cultures, different backgrounds. And that has, made us be aware that, it's so hard to pinpoint people. There is not one person and you can say, oh, that is the type of person that would be right for our demographic. We have no clue what is right for our demographic. The only thing that we know is that you're passionate about personal development. You take responsibility. You're cultivating a abundance mindset. So you are changing your relationship with poverty consciousness or scarcity consciousness, and you're serious about being a positive force for good in everywhere you show up. So those are the people that I think resonate with us. And these people don't just read books, they don't just study it, they really do the work. And because they see the evidence of the work every day. And so there's also something about shared excitement. We have a lot of excitement in our groups, because if one person creates something, manifests something fun, we just fall off our chair because it's like, wow, this is unbelievable, or believable. Now we're going to the words like we're going to stop saying it's unbelievable because we've seen so many things that are unbelievable be believable. And so we think, wait, this is believable. We don't know how it happens, but definitely there is some kind of oneness, consciousness behind what is going on in these group fields that we're working with. And so basically, and also some of you might have heard of the 100 monkey effect. And basically, the more people participate in a specific, expansion of consciousness or a new skill, the more they affect other people that are surrounding them. And sometimes even people that don't even know them, right? And this is the, Google 100 monkey effect, and you'll find out how they found out about this effect. And so, and also, in the book Think and Grow Rich, they already spoke about mastermind, that a mastermind becomes one mind. And when you really study it, you start to understand that through the mechanism of entanglement or law of resonance, people start to pick up things from each other. So one person has a breakthrough, all the other people, they start, surfing on that wave. They are caught by that wave of the progress of one or the breakthrough of one person. So this is why we want to play games collectively. We don't want to do it alone with one person or our best friends, I'll be serious. I have done these masterminds with my best friends for a long time. And why did I do it with my best friends? Because it wasn't the right time for me to do it in a group. I wasn't ready. I still had to deal with my own stuff. So, but right now, now that I've been thrown into a group after the Dr. Joe Dispenza workshop, I was in a group of 70 people, and we just started creating crazy synchronicities. Then we started, inviting other people from other Dr. Joe Dispenza groups into our groups. We now have like, I think 150 people in one group that we manage. And basically we've seen now that it's beyond the 150 people in that group. We are meeting people every day that are affected by the miracles and synchronicities that are happening in our lives. And there's no other way I can say it. And if you are in my morning meditations, you will hear every day about the type of stuff that's going on, and the people that I meet randomly, or the people that I just met a day ago. So we're so excited because Ellen and I set a very strong intention for the games that we're playing for our company. And so we have set an intention that if you're going to join, you are going to gain a benefit if you play full out. And that if this is too much for you, that you're not even going to join because you're not ready for it, or it's just too much going on in your life. There's nothing wrong with that. There's also this mechanism of divine timing. But if you are ready, really incorporating these habits of appreciation in your life, we believe it will change our lives. At least me and Ellen will shift, greatly. But we hope that it will happen as a group. So why appreciation? Some of you might have listened to Abraham Hicks and really looked at the teachings of Abraham Hicks. Appreciation is not the same as gratitude. Appreciation is when you think of economy or bookkeeping or accounting. If any of you have studied that, appreciation is the opposite of devaluation or depreciation. When you buy a machine or you buy a car for your company, after a while it depreciates. Appreciation is actually you increase the value of it. So if you look at appreciation, it's increasing the value of something because of your viewpoint. If you start to see the world, everything that comes into your awareness, if you start to see it with appreciation, you increase the value of everything you come across. Imagine what that would do to you. And why is it important? Because the law of attraction teaches that we can only receive what we send out. We are creating electromagnetic fields that can only bring us back what we are vibrating, what we are sending out without even us knowing. So when you're sending out appreciation instead of sending out judgment, instead of sending out, a realistic point of view of how you should see things, imagine what would happen. Okay. So appreciation is not the same as gratitude. For those of you who are going to join us in the closed Facebook group, we already posted one video where in 7 minutes, Esther explains the difference between appreciation and gratitude. Gratitude, very shortly, has, according to Abraham, a different vibration. It has the vibration of overcoming. So she said, when you think about a gratitude, you think about you have overcome some difficulty. Whereas if you think of appreciation, you think about pure positive energy. There's nothing that can, that you can see that has this this mixed vibration of overcoming or challenge or difficulty. It's just pure you see more than what is in front of you. You realize that there is much more than what is in front of you, and that this person or this event or this circumstance doesn't even know it. But you, because you are the observer, you are seeing more than the value of this specific thing in front of you. And imagine that you could do this for a person. Imagine that you could do this for yourself. Imagine that you could do this for your business. Imagine that you could do this for your health. Yeah. So what could happen in 7 days, right? And we're going to find out. So Abraham says appreciation is the secret to life. The way that I run masterminds is I don't just read sentences like boom, 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 this is a sentence. No, I read every word, and I want us to think about the words and the relationships with the words to the sentence. The secret to life, that's a big statement, okay? Secret to life. And also they say, become a person who has a habit of appreciating and you will thrive. So all of you must have seen the movie The Secret. You know, so The Secret is not putting things on your vision board. The secret is not just, you know, basically looking at videos with your car and your mansion on it. No, the secret apparently is appreciation. And why is the secret appreciation? And appreciation, because when you appreciate, you are connected to source. You are in the highest state of your being, meaning you see through the eyes of source. And when you see through the eyes of source, you are most aligned with the receptive mode. You are no longer resisting your expansion. Yeah. So these are all Abraham Hicks teachings that you might need to review if you're new to this. But I hope that you can actually follow me if you don't know Abraham Hicks that well. So, and this again, you know, how often do we judge ourselves? How often do we have chatter in our mind that is saying, no, you can't do it. No, it's not going to happen. Oh, you failed so many times, you know. And I know this from myself that, you know, no matter how much work you do, you always have this little fear, this little self-doubt you need to dance with. Tony Robbins calls it dancing with it. You don't let it drive your car anymore. You dance with it, you know. And I say sometimes, you know, I give my inner chatter sometimes a holiday. And I educate it and I send it love, but I don't believe my inner chatter anymore. And so when we start appreciating ourselves, the most important person in the world, we start appreciating self, you will attract all sorts of wonderful things. And attraction is, of course, you know, referring to the mechanism of law of attraction, meaning what you send out, you receive back, but you can only receive it back because you're a vibrational match. You're a vibrational match with what you send out. So if you send out appreciation, you see yourself as a successful person, as a person who increases, you know, increases happiness in life, increases value for others in life, who is of service in life, instead of judging yourself from, oh, you know, I had these goals there, but I'm still not there yet. Oh, you know, I'm so ashamed of my progress. You know, how many years have I been working on myself? Or you compare yourself with other more successful people. That is not self-appreciation. So the reason for self-appreciation is because we want to be living examples of the truth. And so we need to stop giving too much, you know, energy and attention to these little voices, because it brings us out of alignment and it disallows our expansion into the true identity of who we are. And when you listen to the webinar of last night, the biggest question in all personal development is, who are you really? Are you this finite little being that is, you know, tortured, tormented by all these voices? Or are you going to line up with your true self, which is you are an infinite being and you are in the process of evolving and unfolding and co-creating with other sentient beings? Right? And if we can stop this identification with this little inner chatter, we shift into self-appreciation, and then life shifts. Life just shifts. So we become a magnet because we start appreciating ourselves. Imagine that if you don't appreciate yourself, you're going to be sitting in shame, blame, guilt. Yeah. And I've been there for so long. I didn't even know I was feeling guilty. I didn't even know that I took so much responsibility. The Jungian analyst that I was working with called it inflated guilt. I had inflated guilt. I took on all the problems of the world, something that sometimes children do in dysfunctional families. You start to feel guilty about everything. You know, you think that mommy and daddy are like this because of you. And so, this becomes a habit, these habits of not appreciating yourself, being in blame, being in guilt, being in shame. You know, these are habits, that are chronic patterns of thought that we need to shift with new habits. And self-appreciation is a wonderful, wonderful mechanism. I can actually, for the ones that are joining the call, I can actually share something that happened to me when I started doing self-appreciation for a week, because my coaches told me to do so, and I did it. And what started happening in my life, you know, it's going to blow your mind. So each time we are appreciating, you bring pure positive energy into the experience of whatever is the object of your appreciation. That could be you, it could be your business, that could be your child, that could be your neighbor, that could be your house you don't even have yet. That could be your new car that you don't even have yet. That could be a dream, your life purpose that you don't even know yet, right? It sounds so simple, and things, sometimes people think it's too simple, cannot be that simple. You know what? I just like Greg Braden says, I believe that's just the truth is simple. It sounds so simple, but it is powerful in its pureness. So imagine that pure positive energy means that we are without resistance, that we are just allowing the expansion of ourself into the fullness of our vortex, that whatever we believe that this thing that we're told you can be, do, and have everything you want, that we just believe it, that we don't have this little voice or program saying, no, who do you think you are? You know, so when we start appreciating the things that we have, the things that we have experienced, the people that have made us grow, when we appreciate contrast, you know, you bring pure positive energy into the experience. And so we're looking forward to that experience. We still have to experience it ourselves, but you know, I myself, I will tell you, when I started Googling these images and quotes from Abraham, I felt this surge in my energy. And I'm the type of person that's very, very sensitive to energy. So things will either make me completely not excited or make me want to walk away, like my energy doesn't tolerate it, or it will just boom, soar. And these quotes, these very simple quotes, they just make me elevate my energy. And I hope that you feel that too, because it means you're in the vicinity of the receptive mode, or you are in the receptive mode. These are truths. These are energetic truths that are being conveyed to us through Abraham. And if you're in the vicinity of receptive mode, you will feel it. You will vibrate on it. You will just, it will just rub off on you. So the more you appreciate, the more you practice, listen to the word practice appreciation, the less resistance you will have in your own vibration. So they're talking about practice as that, and Abraham referred to muscles, you know, alignment. Everything we do is really like a muscle we train. And imagine you practice, I don't know how many hours in the gym. You practice playing an instrument, you practice a language, you practice public speaking. You know, all these things, are they going to shift your vibration? Maybe they're going to give you a little bit of confidence. Maybe they're going to give you more skill. But practicing appreciation, you know, reduces resistance. And resistance is the only thing standing in our way between us and our vortex, the things that we wanted to manifest, the things that are already there, they are there in future tense, not even present tense. They are a done deal, but the only reason why we're not experiencing it is because we don't believe it. We don't feel it. We don't expect it. We hope and wish, and we don't know that it's the done deal. So imagine that you can bypass all of this resistance. You start appreciating things in your life. Imagine what could happen. You will reduce your resistance to such an extent that, you know, as Abraham says, the momentum of your positive vibration and your alignment is so big that even small things of contrast, they come in, but your momentum in alignment, in the receptive mode, is so big. It's like, you know, like when you have a big car, a big truck or something, and you have a little pebble on the road, and there's a little contrast in your life. That, you know, that was one of the Abraham Hicks anecdotes. And so this is, imagine that when you practice appreciation, you really start to use it as a skill. You know, instead of going to the gym, you practice appreciation. And I'm not saying don't go to the gym. I'm saying do both, yeah? So when you practice it, the resistance will go down. So that is an amazing promise, an amazing thing to look forward to. When you get into that place of feeling appreciation, so we're not talking about saying it and not feeling it, you know, really feel it. When you feel appreciation of where you are and who you are. So not saying, oh, I'm not there yet. Oh, I don't like it here where I am. No, where you are in the now and who you are. When you feel that appreciation and you accept that you are a never-ending, always unfolding being, then you can stand in the delicate balance of being optimistic about what is to come without being unhappy about where you stand. And optimism brings you right up into the positive side of the emotional guidance skill. We'll see that later. So we're gonna talk about the process that we're going to introduce. And I actually want to ask whether Ellen can speak right now. Can you speak right now, Ellen? Or is it not convenient? If you can't speak, unmute yourself. Hi. I don't see the videos. I'm gonna try and see the video. Hi.
Hi.
So if you can maybe explain the next slides, and I'll just tell me when we go to the next slide, okay?
All right, so this one. We would every day, twice a day, write 68 seconds about all our areas in your life, relationship, abundance, house, job, etc. And you will find it very easy to do. So basically they're having a little mathematical equation of the significant changes you can make with the amount of seconds you appreciate, in this case, pure thought. So the difference between 17 seconds and 68 seconds is so big that you might as well tune in for 68 seconds and change like drastically. So, yeah. Um, 17 seconds of pure thought is equivalent to two. Oh yeah, here we go. So here they're doing another equation, but they're showing the little steps in between. And pure thought practice. I don't really know. So practice pure thought, I'm assuming, actually. Choose vibrational alignment work. Over unaligned action.
Why I put this slide in is because, you know, Ellen is going to explain what we're going to do as the rules for this game, because we need to have some rules, right? But there's a lot of freedom in the rules, is that actually a lot of people, just like Dr. Joe says, you won't find the time. You will say, I don't have the time, yeah? And I know this because I've been there. And why don't we find the time? Is because we're caught up in taking action. And if you've watched the webinar of last night, you know why we take action. It's like this kind of habitual thing that we rush into, but very often we're taking lots of unaligned action. So we take the action without actual, really even tuning into the guidance of source. So we're actually taking action without being aligned. First, we take action because we're efforting. We take action because we don't believe in our success already. We don't believe in ease. We believe in struggle and hard work. And so basically what Abraham Hicks teaches is the universe is easy. You ask and it is given. You ask and it is here. And you know, Ellen and I have been to the advanced workshops of Dr. Joe, and Dr. Joe teaches us dimensionalization in the 5th dimension, and literally people dimensionalize in a meditation. They come out of the meditation and it has already happened. Jobs, people, relationships that were troublesome, money, you know, animals being in their room, like gifts that they get, like really bizarre type of thing. So the only reason why ask and it's given works so smoothly in these type of instant manifestation, it is because when you think about something you don't care about, you have pure thought. But imagine that you have practiced a lot of resistance in a lot of areas in our lives where we struggle and where we effort. And these are the big topics, yeah? They are health, they are wealth, they are relationships, they are self-esteem. In those areas, we can make the time at least 68 seconds per area in your life. 68 seconds is like a little bit more over an hour. Sorry, a little bit more over a minute. So this is why I put this here, Ellen. I hope you're back on track now. I'm gonna go to the next slide.
It is our promise to you. If you write things you appreciate in others, in life and in yourself, you will have such a dramatic change in 30 days. And if continued for 6 months, the change will be so powerful, so strong that others who you know will not recognize the old you. So we're doing it for 7 days, which is, I think, already going to be a huge, huge, huge improvement, because the most difficult thing is the practicing. And if you are practicing, that means you're playing around with it and you're making it a habit. So it's going to be something you'll learn to automatically do whenever you have a little bit of downtime, or are maybe not having downtime, have a more of a whirlwind kind of time, and then using the appreciation to appreciate things around you and elevate your vibration. Okay, the emotional guidance scale. I don't know if you are familiar with it, but so 1 is the highest emotion that there is on the guidance scale, and the lowest is 22, which is fear, grief, depression, powerlessness, victim, and the highest is joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, and appreciation. So if you go down them, you can see 2, passion, 3, enthusiasm. What I like to do is I like to go through them, and you can actually literally feel them go down. It's maybe more fun to start at the bottom and then work your way up, because then you go up in feeling. And yeah, we'll explain later why we want to, or shall we explain that now?
You can explain it now, because
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so a part of the game is going to be that 3 times during the day, we're going to check in. We decided that 3 times a day would be good, because that's when we have our meals generally. So that's a little easy trigger there. To remind you to appreciate, but also to write down how you feel at that time. So go over the emotional guidance scale. If you're not familiar with it, first maybe do what I just said, tune in a little bit, like close your eyes and feel how you feel when you go up. And you can, I really feel that it really goes up just a little step. It's like walking stairs up. And then write that down 3 times a day, so that you can see, oh, at the beginning of this day, I felt jealous for some reason. And then now I feel enthusiastic. And then you can write down, and that's sort of us being a scientist in this game, because we're actually seeing results. So we're seeing that we're appreciating, and we're seeing that we're actually going up the emotional guidance scale. All right, so that's the game we're going to play. How are we going to do it? We're going to have a private Facebook group. So once a day, I would like us all to go in there and share something about that day that was good. So you're tracking it 3 times a day. And then you can use those 3 notes that you've made and use it to write in the Facebook group and share a little bit about you. For the people who are introverts, as myself, don't feel shy. Just go out and do it, and just know that it's a safe place, and everyone can just share what they feel, and we're all on the same journey together, and everyone is everyone's message is as important as another's. So that's us being accountable, and Angelique and I will be in the group to help, to support and guide you along with love. So we'll comment to the things, and we'll try to keep the conversation going so that it stays lively and fun in our group for 7 days.
So I think it's important that, you know, the accountability is just posting in Facebook once a day, but you can actually, we are asking you to track your progress 3 times a day. And, you know, one of the things that I thought about is actually to maybe for 7 days in my phone, in my diary, to put in an appointment to actually write down my progress, because very often sometimes I wake up and I don't feel really good because maybe I'm groggy or something going on with my brain, or my I don't know, melatonin, I'm still sleepy, or I'm hungry, I'm like a weary child or something. And I've taught myself how to get myself out of these moods by practicing, like for instance, meditation. So nowadays I don't have these days that much more, because I have been waking up at 4:50 to meditate. So I conditioned my body to be a complete new person. So I think it's useful for all of us to really 3 times a day, you know, put down maybe in your phone, maybe even a little alarm or a notification that you need to, hey, check in. What are you feeling now? And during those, before and after after breakfast, or as soon as you wake up, and then when you have lunch, or when you have dinner, or by the time you go to bed, just really try to appreciate as much as possible. So for some of you, it might just be easier to appreciate, you know, just maybe yourself, or maybe appreciate things around you. But others may be more, may want to challenge themselves more, and may say things like, you know what, I'm going to appreciate people that challenge me, like my boss, my clients, my children, my ex-partner, my neighbor plays the tuba at midnight, or, you know, the political news that I read every day, you know. So you decide how far you go. My intention for myself is, I want to play all out. I'm going to challenge myself in a nice, loving way, that I'm going to appreciate everything. And I mean, I was telling Ellen one day, I was walking in the tube in Amsterdam, and I said, okay, let's do this appreciation game. And I started walking in the tube, and I went from the back where I was to the front, and I just started looking at people, and I just appreciated them. And instead of judging them, instead of thinking, oh, this person is not that good looking or whatever, I just started seeing the beauty in them. And it was so uplifting, just that one walk in the tube. I mean, imagine that you could do this all day. You're in the car, you're in the, you know, you're in rush hour. You're a sandwich in the London tube. I don't know where you are. You have kids screaming at you. Imagine that you can appreciate that, but you decide. But do check in 3 times a day, and then write about it 1 time a day, as much as you want or as little as you want. Maybe a little insight or a little breakthrough or something that you want to share with the group. Ellen and I will play full out. You know, we have nothing to hide. We want to really make this game a lifestyle change. Yeah, right, Ellen? We're not there to like do this for 7 days and then forget about it and then go back to the old self. No, I mean, it's so much fun to do this appreciation game. And I can tell you, you decide your boundaries, you decide how far you want to go. But definitely I will be doing the writing 68 seconds for every area in my life. I actually bought a diary. I bought it because there's a flamingo here. Some of you know why we love the flamingo. So this is like 1 page for every day. And for those 7 days, I'm going to write like per area, one thing I appreciate. And so you decide what you're going to do in your private life, but post in the Facebook group and track it 3 times a day. So yeah, so and I thought it would be very good to actually also, Ellen and I discussed this, that when you do this type of game that goes out of your comfort zone, you might experience contrast. Yeah, so you might have things that trigger you back into judgment or trigger you back into your old personality. And we would like us to practice self-awareness, because, you know, if we weren't overcoming ourselves, we would have done this many years ago. This is going to trigger maybe certain things in your life. And so we want you to write down for yourself and just notice for yourself, how long can you stay in appreciation without being triggered, you know, and also notice what's going to pull you back into your habitual self, where you think, you know, this doesn't work, or I'm not going to do, you know, who is Abraham, for God's sake? I'm just going to go back to the old me and to my old grumpy ways of being, because that worked for me. Of course, that could also be a valid, you know, a valid thing. But we would like you to really consider, if you're studying all this stuff, why don't just play full out? Why don't you give yourself 7 days the chance to prove it to yourself how much can shift? And after that, we're going to initiate a 30-day program where we're really going to guide people through certain areas of their lives where, you know, where we're going to do it with a group, So I hope that you are in. If you're in, we have a closed Facebook group called 7-Day Deliberate Appreciation Game. If you want to join in, just ask to be added to that. And then we'll add you, and then basically it starts tomorrow. We already posted 1 video. If we don't know who you are, send us a message via the Facebook group, the Facebook page, or the Facebook group that you're in, and then we can actually add you. So I don't know whether, Ellen, do you have any more things to add? Did I forget something?
No, all good. I'm just looking for the Facebook group to see if I could just share it in the chat here.
Yeah.
The Facebook group you just mentioned. Other than that, no, I think it's clear. Unless anyone has any questions, yeah, you can type it in the chat and we can respond.
If anybody has questions, if anything is not clear. So every day we'll also be posting, you know, insightful videos of Abraham. And after 3 days, so I don't know when it is. I'm really living in the moment right now. But we are going to actually create a little catch up. So I think it's Wednesday today, Thursday it starts, Fridays, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it might be something like a Saturday that we're going to do a little catch up, where we're going to do a little Facebook or Zoom where we're, you know, for the participants so that we can actually share our progress. And then after 7 days, we'll have another roundup again. And by that time we will have downloaded, you know, because Ellen and I don't believe in thinking anymore. We just download what we need to do for the 30 days. And because as you could see, Abraham said 30 days, your life will change, but actually practicing it for 6 months, you have no clue what will have shifted. And some of you heard me talk about, you know, me doing the placement process. And then after 6 months, I manifested everything. And there were times that I thought it wasn't going to come into my life. And I thought, but I wasn't really invested in the manifestation. I just was like, I'm going to do this because it makes me feel good. I had no clue that these things were going to appear in my life because I wasn't really aware that I was studying Abraham. I was doing the homework of an innocent student that was studying with an energy healing teacher. So, you know, the thing is, you have to sometimes there's a law of gestation. And so it's like you plant a seed. It takes time for things to sprout. Yeah. But God knows, what am I saying? You know, it might be that you have your manifestation in 1 day. It might be that you have it in 1 month. You know, I don't know. There are no limits. I do know that time is speeding up like crazy, and things seem to go rapidly. And so I hope you're in. I see some names of my friends here and some people that are in a meditation group, and also some new names. And so we hope to see you in the Facebook group. And we're going to, yeah, I'll be the first one to post tomorrow about maybe a video, or, you know, and tomorrow night I'll be one of the people to post about what happened when I did this extreme, you know, all-in type of deliberate appreciation. So Ellen, anything else to say?
Nope.
No?
Excited to play the game.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm
I have
glad
goosebumps.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But yeah, Ellen and I immediately felt the excitement of this. And this is with actually every mastermind I set up. The people that are supposed to be in the mastermind, they feel the excitement. The first time I initiated this 5 a.m. Crazy mastermind, and we weren't even meditating. I said it, actually, I was in London. I was having, you know, some catch up with 5 friends, and Gabriella, one of my friends, was here. I said, let's wake up at 5 a.m. as Bob Proctor teaches, and let's study the laws. And Gabriella looked at me and she said, yes. And I knew that we had to do it. And I swear to God, we woke up for like a year every day at 5 a.m. studying the laws. We studied books. We were studying sometimes 3 hours a day in the morning from 5 a.m. onwards. And our life shifted. I'm not the same anymore. So I trust the excitement. I trust it so much. This is exactly what Abraham teaches. When your source will give you the guidance, when you feel excited, go for it. If you don't feel excited by this, don't do it. You know, maybe it's not the time. But if you feel excited, we would be glad to have you. Gabriella, yeah, it was so exciting. Okay, lots of love, everybody. We appreciate you. Ellen and I set some amazing intentions for the group energy, because I know this from family constellations. The people that are initiating projects, they are like the founders of a project, and their intention dominates. And this is systemic. This is a very systemic thing in, organizational constellations that I studied. And so we have an amazing intention for all of you to thrive, for all of you to have miracles in your life, for all of you to be a blessing to yourself and to those you love. And so if you're going to play full out, you know, you will see the changes. And I'm just seeing this. Oh, wow. I'm feeling the energy already from the participants. So yeah, that will be fun. Anna and Katarzyna, thank you. I can feel it here. So we're going to wrap it up right now. Some of us have to wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. And I need to start, I want to start creating this little 30-day thing already, because I feel it coming. I can feel the blocks of thought, as Abraham says. It's right here. I just need to get behind the computer and it will come to me. So yes, Thank you all. We look forward to meeting you. And I don't know where you all are, but if you're in Amsterdam, please let us know. If you're in the Netherlands, we're going to set up a little fun meeting, you know, and I'm going to be in London next week. So if anybody's in London, let's meet up. We're going to do some fun stuff together. And otherwise, you know, we'll have to meet online at least on Saturday and after the 7 days. Okay, lots of love to everybody.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.